Hey guys, just a heads up, this is a video sponsored by Dollar Shave Club. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/Rossatron or click the link in the description, and for just $5, new members will get their first month of the Daily Essentials starter set. That's only $5 with free shipping. After that, raises are just a few dollars a month. Thank you.
Come on, get out! Let's go!
What's weird about this? Anything that feels off? Anything at all? Okay, maybe it feels fine. Maybe you're used to it, but this is a pretty violent scene. There's a lot of slaughter going on right now. And there's no blood. You've just seen a lot of people get stabbed and shot, but no blood. Hell, Prince Caspian was rated PG, even though a lot of creatures are dying pretty nastily. Death after death, over and over. In a kid's film? It's bloodless though, so that's okay, right? Okay, no, this isn't going to be like that. I'm not going to talk about how violence affects children, or you can't have death in films for younger people, but sometimes that lack of blood, of consequence with violence, it's weird. It feels off to me, it always has. Obviously, I understand for various reasons why we don't see blood often, but I think sometimes creators don't realize how important blood can be artistically. Obviously, with many films featuring any kind of violence these days, there is a choice usually to be made between R rating or PG-13 rating. And nowadays, when it comes to violence, that equates to basically blood or no blood. It's a shame, as I really feel blood is useful in terms of storytelling, and yes, arguably showing blood is at least a little more honest when it comes to portraying violence. Okay, you're opening yourself to more ticket sales when you tone down the red stuff, but arguably you're potentially making a lesser film. You're losing impact, and you're losing something inherently cinematic. Excessive blood is one of the only cinematic techniques that for the majority of audiences, they won't experience. Most people will have an experience with offensive language. Obviously nudity and sex is a part of everyday life. Violence though, really bloody violence, that feels cinematic. Aside from cuts here or there, you'll hopefully only experience this sort of thing through a book, a game, or a film. That's really what I want to discuss, the power of showing blood. It has a subtle narrative function, and is another reason I'm not a huge fan of CG blood unless it's given real care when it's applied. Blood elicits a very real response in humans. The sight of it is inherently shocking to most as it represents injury and danger. Throwing it on seemingly as an afterthought is not only going to stand out to the audience, but you're missing out on that vital response you can get the more it appears real. It can even be cathartic, climactic, hell, orgasmic. Wisely used, it has incredible power. Look at Reservoir Dogs. It hid the most immediately gruesome moment, but the sight of Mr. Orange, covered in blood and slowly dying, is in itself shocking, and yet also integral to the story and what Tarantino was saying with the film. The MPAA had a real problem with it at the time, as it was one of the few films to really portray slow, painful death on screen in a realistic manner. It made the film feel different, and the gore here is necessary and honest. This is how being shot works. It hurts. You don't die in one shot super quickly like in most action films. You bleed out. It's painful. Should kids' films be full of this stuff to put them off playing with guns? No. But they can handle at least some of it. Look at the Universal rated Star Wars or Dragon Slayer, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Hell, Samurai Jack at least use circuits and oil to give the same feeling as blood. As long as the context is there, showcasing consequence in scenes like this through bloodshed can be effective in more family-friendly fare. James Mangold, whose Wolverine had both a widely seen PG-13 and a lesser seen R-rated version, and then of course went hard R with Logan, said on the subject, "I have a lot of misgivings about violence and PG ratings. A PG film might show hundreds of people dying, falling off buildings, getting mowed down by rapid-fire guns, but you don't feel the deaths because the rating system dictates the amount of agony being played by the actor. In a weird way, that makes violence more palatable, because when we excise the upsetting bits, we desensitize ourselves to death at the point where it's almost like shooting ducks at a carnival." Mangold is making an important point here about desensitization, and though I don't subscribe to the idea that violence in film causes violence in reality, teaching about the consequences of violence that could happen in life is important. Micro changes throughout media of, amongst other things, yes, showing a bit more blood, a little bit more of consequence, could tell an important story on screen, and beyond the screen, subtly educate the audience. He's also alluding to the idea of in the film, for our heroes, how neutered death becomes, like those ducks at a carnival. By having to hide the falling body, it all happening so quickly, the lack of blood, death loses power, and so seems to us far more trivial to the character doing the killing. In a way, that lack of focus on the death makes it all the more disturbing. These kids, they're just too unfazed. Again, I don't think suddenly films aimed at younger audiences should be filled with blood, but I do think storytellers should keep in mind how important handling the level of blood and injury and the effect that has on the characters around it can be to their stories, and the impact it can have on the audience watching them. Thank you. Now let's talk about Dollar Shave Club. I always find that when I get towards the end of using products, I leave it too late to go out and get more before they're done. Then I forget again. I'm a bit useless basically, and that's why something like what Dollar Shave Club offers works so well for me. On a monthly basis, you can get all your grooming products sent right to your door. Toothpaste, body wash, hairstyling stuff, everything you need to look, feel, smell your best, not just razors. And for a limited time, Dollar Shave Club is basically giving away their Daily Essentials starter set to new members for only $5. This starter set features their executive razor and free trial-size versions of their most popular products that help you stay fresh and clean. In your first box, you'll receive the Shave Butter Body Wash and One Wipe Charlie's Butt Wipes. You will also receive their executive razor, which includes their premium weighty handle and a full cassette of cartridges. After the first box, replacement cartridges are sent for only a few dollars a month. This offer is exclusively available at dollarshaveclub.com/Rossatron. That's dollarshaveclub.com/ROSSATRON. Thank you very much.